Dear students of class 9A and 9B, today I am going to teach you under the following heads. Number 1, cave inscription. 2, inscription on pottery. Number 3, life in Sangam age. And 4, society. Under the following points, I am going to explain you the lesson Sangam age in South India. Number 1, first point, cave inscription. What is cave inscription? You know, cave inscription. These are discovered, found in Mangulam village by the discoverers or by the archaeologists. They proved that it was one of the oldest epigraphic records of Sangam literature, and as well as the oldest Jain inscription in South India. They proved it. The inscriptions dated 2nd century BCE record the gift of a monastery by a Pandyan king to a monk. Means Pandya kings also embraced them and patronized them. As a result of it, a number of monks started teaching from the monasteries, because a number of monasteries also were constructed during the age under the Pandyas, and so from these monasteries the monks started teaching and preaching the concept of Lord Jain, means Lord. The concept of Jainism they started teaching from the monasteries. And 39 cave inscriptions also were found out from there, were discovered in several sites of Madurai and other parts of South India, out of which the Alagar Malay inscription is famous. Alagar Malay inscription dated to the 1st century BC record the endowments made by a group of merchants from Madurai. Inscription provide evidence for the cultivation of music, dance, and Tamizakam. So, cave inscription found at Anantara Hills in Pugalar village document the construction of a rock shelter by a Chera king for a Jain monk. That means they also proved it that the discoveries and the archaeologists proved it that not only the Pandas embraced the concept of Jainism, but also the Cheras. The Chera kingdoms also encouraged the concept of Jainism, and the cave inscription proved it. The documents which were found out from there proved that they were patronized by Chera kings, and so many Jain monks also were assigned to start teaching from the monasteries, because during Chera kingdom so many monasteries also were constructed. And apart from this, some inscriptions which were found out from there, various types of designs also, designful inscriptions also were found out, designs made on pottery. So many inscriptions on pottery written in Tamil Brahmi have been found in several parts of Tamil Nadu, Andhra and Kerala in India, and in several sites in other countries including Sri Lanka, Thailand and Red Sea coast in Egypt, because there was a sea route towards the Egypt, Sri Lanka. They conducted trade and commerce with them, and during the Sangam age. And now, what was about the people's life during Sangam age? What was about the people's life during Sangam age? What was about the life in Sangam age? Life of the people in Sangam age. During Sangam age, almost all people were happy, rich and prosperous because of the sea route and its trade. Their trades also flourished due to the development and growth in industry, in factory, through sea route. That's why almost all people were happy, rich and wealthy. In the Sangam age, although the people had a common language and culture, yet they had a division broadly into 5 different kudis, means clans, based on their profession. And each profession had a bearing on the 5 different natural landscapes like Thinyas found in ancient Tamil land. These are Koinji, means hills and forest, mean hunting declared as hunting place, and Mulai, mean pasture land, cattle breeding and grazing place, and Marutham means fertile field for plantation, plough, agriculture, and Neithal means seashore, fishing place, and Palai means dry land, means barren land for warfare and acquired through plunder. So these are the division and of natural landscapes during Sangam age in the society. People, as per its requirement, they utilize it, and also from these lands they could understand which land should be fruitful to them and which one is of no use. Ultimately, that people realized that caste system was in the Sangam society, casteism in the Sangam society was not good, but still Brahminical society was there during following the concept and idea of the Vedic age. There was inequalities existed during this period. Why? Because the ruling class was Arsar and Artharanans played a significant role in the society during Sangam age. They had influence in religion, they had influence in politics. Everywhere the kings established his influence over them. And the Vellara was the agriculturist class, whereas the Vaislar propagated trade and commerce. It may be said that this clarification closely resembles the one we find in the Brahminical society of the north. Thus, there were sharp social inequalities even during this period. Society had no scope to lead and to lead a very very equal life for each other, where everyone would have their equal rights to exercise. Nothing was there because there was inequality. People were not happy, but still rich people whose earnings was much better than others, they led a very steady and healthy life. As a result of it, there was no equality in the society, and woman was considered a great virtue. The women had a respectable position in the society, but they had no right to inherit property like men. There were ascetics also among women. Since some women were educated, that's why they had a natural tendency to lead an ascetic life, and some of them would become a part of monasteries and would teach the students, would teach the children from monasteries. And after that, a new wave came in the field of religion. What was about it? People in the Sangam age followed either nature worship or Hinduism as their religion, and the king performed Vedic sacrifices. Brahmins chanted very Vedic hymns, and the chief deities, as mentioned in Talapakyam, include Kothari, Mother Goddess, sometimes referred to as Goddess Kali, and Murugam of Lord Kartikeya, Thirumal of Perumal or Lord Vishnu, and Benduvan or Lord Indra, and Varunan or God of rains. So these are the classifications of different types of gods and goddesses. They worship them. They had prayed for them, and although the ancient people of the Sangam age, they were natural worshipper. They worshipped the nature. That's why but Brahmans chanted the Vedic concept and hymns. The king performed Vedic sacrifices. That idea came after the discovery of a new age, the Vedic age. The king performed Vedic sacrifice, followed the system of Vedas, and also considered as the chief source of information about the Vedic age. And they all were inspired by the two, great epics of the Hindus, the Ramayana and Mahabharata. And afterwards, the society, their status in society, they followed not equal but unequal, because women, there was a great difference between men and women, because women did not have the right to inherit property, and there were ascetics also among them. So this age, because of the inequality in the field of religion, there was inequality. There was no equal treatment, and it was due to the reason the age. Women had no respect, and in some parts woman was a respectable person. Women had respect in the society, since women, some of them were well educated, and those who were well educated, they had respect, and rest of them could not gain respect from the people. And apart from this, the age when the Pandavas ruled, Pandavas tried to establish their image as good kings of India, and hence the Pandavas patronize all the poets, writers, and as a result of it, some writers, some poets, they created the new concepts, new poems, new writings, and also embraced the age of the Pandavas. And it is also said that during the age of the Cheras, the concept of Jainism also was developed because of monasteries. During the age of the Pandavas, a number of monasteries were constructed. Monasteries were constructed in order to teach the preachings and teachings of Jainism by the monks, and hence a number of monasteries were constructed under the royal patronage of the Pandya kings, the Chera kings, and hence this age also is proved that there was equality and at the same time inequality in religion. A group of people who had no faith, who had no education, they always tried to differentiate different types of religions. Like Jainism, they had no faith, and some of them had faith in Hinduism, concept of Hinduism. But those who had education, they always had impartial attitude towards all religions. But the kings, almost all kings during the Chera and Panda age, during Sangam age, the Panda and Chera kings, they were tolerant rulers. They did not allow inequality in the society, but still some of them were forced to follow the system of inequality, because society was divided into various groups and various categories, and there was a concept developed in the society that was oneness, that it belongs to me, I have the right to enjoy it, I have the right to utilize it. That concept of oneness created narrowness in the society, narrowness, and ultimately the time when the Pandavas came to power, the Pandavas tried to normalize the system by way of by way of getting satisfied one group of people, and another one, they decided to make a reconciliation between the two group of people, and as a result of it, the concept of equality and inequality also was formed in the society. Some group of people, they were able to enjoy their life, and some group of people were unable to enjoy their life because of that concept of equality and inequality. That kind of concept which was developed in the society, equality and inequality. Equality also was there, and inequality also was there. That's why, and it was due to the effort of the Pandya kings. But during the age of the Chera, that system was not, this kind of system was not there, and hence they always patronized the concept of Jainism and patronized the Jainism and the concept of Jainism, and constructed so many monasteries in order to teach the preachings and teachings of Jainism from there. Up to this, my dear students, and next day, the remaining part, then I shall give you some questions to write the answer through your Treno. Thank you.